Hi everybody, Doug Bench with you here again for another bite-sized brain apple for brain fitness lesson. Our first lesson, this is lesson number 2 coming up. Our first lesson was from our book, Do-It-Yourself Brain Surgery. The second lesson today, Brain Apple's Blueprint presents Kiss Your Old Brain Goodbye and Revolutionize Your Brain. Plug in these 16 recently discovered revolutionary brain science techniques to create a new brain that will bring you a lifetime of higher performance, greater achievements, and just maybe, a huge bank account. All of these lessons, of course, are based on recent revolutionary brain research discoveries. Today's lesson is one of the 16 techniques, and if you apply all of these 16 techniques based on brain research discovery that I call the Brain Apple's Blueprint, and this is technique number 1, SuperSize Your Greeting, if you apply all 16 of these lessons, your achievement levels are going to skyrocket automatically. There's not a thing you can do to keep it from happening. It's brain science. It's not hocus pocus or oogum boogum. It's brain science. All right, SuperSize Your Greeting is technique number 1. From now on, every day for the rest of your life, I want to have you, when you greet any other person, do so with what I call a very positive, supersized greeting. No matter how you feel, and I'm going to explain to you why scientifically this is so important for you to advance your achievements permanently for the rest of your life. Supersize your greeting. That means if you run into a friend and they say, "Oh, how you doing, Doug?" About half. Okay. No. From now on, every time you greet someone, supersize that greeting with a positive response. I'll explain that in a second, what a positive response is. The supersized greeting is, "How you doing, Doug?" "I'm fantastic. I'm terrific. I am fabulous. I am great." Now look, it doesn't even matter if you don't feel great, if you don't feel fantastic. If you do it for at least 30 days in a row, force yourself to do it for 30 days in a row, you will then turn it into a habit, and guess what? You will become fantastic, and it'll influence everyone around you that hears you say that as well. Now here's the scientific backup of this. As you've heard me say before in Bite-Sized Brain Apples lesson number 1, or any of the free videos we have on our mindyourbrain.net website, they have made phenomenal discoveries in just the last 12 years using brain imaging equipment that's changing everything. And I'm going to give you some of these lessons every time I give you a bite-sized brain apple. This lesson today, Supersize Your Greeting, is based on 2 huge brain science discoveries of the last 12 years. The first one is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, another name for it is neurogenesis or brain plasticity. Listen to what it says. The scientists have discovered that if you stimulate your brain, no matter what your age, I like that part. If you stimulate your brain, no matter what your age, your brain will form new connections. They're called DSPs, dendrite spiny protuberances. New connections are formed every time you stimulate your brain that increase the total number of connections in your brain and increase your brain's capacity for achievement. One of the things that results from this, and you can see it, I've got pictures of these little dendrite spiny protuberances growing, little spiderweb thin like strands that grow together when you learn something new, when you say something new, when you stimulate your brain. And it doesn't matter whether what you're saying is truthful or not. I'll explain that to you in a minute. But your brain will form new connections. And if your brain forms enough of these new connections, in other words, if you repeat that statement over and over enough times for enough number of days, that will become the truth to your brain. That is discovery number 1 that influences why you should supersize your greeting. Listen to the second one. The scientists have learned that your brain thinks in about 6 areas at once. 6. One is a conscious level. The other 5 areas of thinking are at the non-conscious level. It has been shown to be true on brain imaging pictures that have been seen by the scientists using imaging equipment that sees things in the human brain about 1/100,000th the thickness of a human hair. Things they never could see before. And one of those is that your brain thinks in about 6 areas at once. One, a conscious level, and the other 5 areas of thinking that we're not even aware of is being done at the non-conscious level, the NC, non-conscious level. Used to be called the subconscious. Don't like calling it that anymore. The non-conscious level, NC. I call it my Nancy. That's where 5/6 of your thinking is done. That's what controls 5/6 of your behavior, and you're not even aware of what those thoughts are, but you can learn ways to control that thinking. That's the exciting part. Now, here's some of the characteristics they've learned about the thinking you do at the non-conscious level. Number 1, the thinking you do at the non-conscious level, your brain can't distinguish truth from a lie, can't distinguish real from imagined. It takes every thought that you fire at your conscious level, at your non-conscious areas of thinking, it's taken as happening right then, right now, in real time. Have you ever had a friend come up to you and say, "Hey, Doug, do you feel okay? You don't look so good." What happens when that friend says that to you? You could have felt terrific, and you start questioning how you feel after that. And, oh, yeah, well, maybe I do have a bit of a headache, and maybe I do feel like I'm getting a bit of a fever, because they put that, what the psychologists used to call power of suggestion. Now we know it's scientifically based. 5/6 of your brain takes everything that's sent in as happening in real time, and it can't distinguish real from imagined. That part of your brain also cannot distinguish positive from negative pictures. So if you send in a negative picture, it takes it as real. For example, if you say to your child, "Junior, don't spill the milk," the picture he sees in his brain is spilling the milk, because he can't distinguish positive from negative. It's a perfect picture of spilling the milk. So here's how we tie this together. If you supersize your greeting, no matter how you really feel, I feel terrific, I'm tremendous. Each day I decide when I get up what letter of the alphabet I'm going to use. A, awesome, absolutely fabulous, friggin' tremendous. Whatever letter you're going to use of the Q's a little bit of a problem. Quintessentially, I don't know. Send me an email. Let me know what you think we can use for Q. But if you do that every day for 21 to 30 days, your brain will form enough new DSP connections that it will turn those thoughts firing at your non-conscious level into a true belief. It is a phenomenal, powerful tool, and the first technique is supersize your greeting. You do that for 21 to 30 days, it'll become a habit. I've been doing it now for 5 or 6 years. I never miss it. I don't care how I feel, because I'm convincing my brain that I am terrific. I am fabulous. You do the same. Supersize your greeting. Make it a habit from now on, and then you give me contact in emails and let me know how it's working for you. Now be careful. It's got to be a positive positive. It cannot be a negative positive. You cannot say not bad, not half bad. It's got to be a positive positive picture. Don't say don't spill the milk. Say, "Junior, I want you to enjoy that milk right down to the bottom of the glass." That's a positive positive. Only send in positive pictures. Supersize your greeting. This is America's BS doctor, that's brain science, Doug Bench, signing off with bite-sized brain apple number 2. Hope you put it to good use. Send me an email, let me know how it goes.